All right. So I'm here with Amon, and Amon, just kind of introduce yourself, man. Let everybody know
Uh,
who you are, where you're from.
I'm Aman. I live out in California, out in the Bay Area. Um, I think I think I linked up with Keith about I don't know maybe a month ago now. I think maybe a little bit over a month.
Yeah, where
Um,
where in the Bay Area are you from again?
I'm out in Fairfield. I'm
Fairfield.
about I'm about like 45 minutes from San Francisco, about an hour from San Jose, and another 50 minutes from Sacramento. Like right in the middle.
You live up there by Vallejo, the Marine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Vallejo's like I would say Marine World is like maybe 15 minutes from where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm very, very familiar with that area because I used to live in Modesto and I've been all up and down through there delivering in my old trucking days. So that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been with me for a while. How did you get with me? Did you do an apps promo sign up? Did you try Dave
Well,
apps out, or what did you do?
first it was I saw your YouTube video. It just popped up on my YouTube for you page,
Hmm.
and I think you gave me a free pick for it was a six-man dabble for Syracuse and Miami, and I think I put like $15 on it, and
Nice.
and I was like, this hits. I wanna. I'll come back to this guy, and it hit. I was like,
good
all
old,
right. I was
good
like,
old Cam Ward, right?
I know, man. I was like, all right, a
I mean, just
correlated play.
just think about if Ohio State could have like kept
Yeah.
McCord too. I mean, obviously, like that guy can sling it, man. Watching him in
Oh,
Syracuse is
oh
so.
yeah, for sure.
It's too bad he's
So
going to be back next year.
yeah. So I think you did a promo on your YouTube saying uh, I believe it was like your lock of the week, and if it didn't hit, I'll give you
Month.
a free month of VIP. And I think we got screwed on one of the plays, and it didn't come through. So I think you gave me a VIP. But
Well,
then I think you hooked me up with a longer one because I signed up for some apps. I think Boom and Vivid or something. And
oh yeah, that's right. Because I had that promo going where end of March Madness or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm on that one right now currently. So I think I'm with you until at least like the NBA Finals or something.
I put a lot of time and effort into those locks. I really dive deep, and
Yeah.
I think we've hit seven of the last 11. So it sucks that Mr. Kyler Murray decided he didn't want to run this week.
Yeah, that sucks.
He doesn't like bonuses, I guess. I don't know. He just kept slinging around the yard, but we win some, you lose some. So
Oh yeah, for
that's
sure.
cool. And just out of curiosity, I've been really hot in December. Like it's
Yeah.
by far been the best month of the year. So, September was awesome for football. The two middle months were kind of, just floating above water slightly, like they were average months, I'd say. Just couldn't really couldn't get hot and sustain it. But we got fucking nuclear there for that 1 week. I mean, it
Oh
was
yeah, for sure.
it was like a
The
hundred. What did you make? Like 100 units in 1 week, probably.
uh on the dabble plays alone, um, I was up 1,300 in like 4 days.
And what is your normal unit size? You've been like 10 to 20
Um, I
range on.
usually between 10 to 15, but for some reason, the bowl games I threw I think 25 on each one, and so they were hitting for 500 and 525, 570,
Yeah,
depending on which plays, if it was like the Ohio State or the South Carolina, Oregon. And I messed up. I missed out on all the Syracuse plays, which sucks because I probably would have been up another $1,500 if I would have put those in. And I missed them.
the future ones where I comboed Syracuse with like
Yeah, I
next week.
missed those. I was like I told you before I was out and but
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
and then your sleeper plays.
the,
Um,
just on fire this month. It's been insane.
the sleeper plays with doing the whole protected. Um, the NBA ones we were hitting, small, $40, $30, and
Hmm.
then we cashed out on like a couple big NFL ones, especially that Lions Niner game. I think I hit for like 500 on that one on a $25 play or $20 play. Um,
Yeah. That
And then
sleeper promo they did was just unbelievable, wasn't it?
and even right now, I think we missed out on some of the protected plays, but they put all that money back. I think they refunded me like $60 from those Lions plays that didn't come through. So
Well, because of the nature of what we were doing with the protected picks, like we were, doing 20 and then we get a protected pick for 20. That's literally all I was betting. I never even bet my half unit or normal unit size. I was just betting $20, like
yep,
most of the VIP were. I personally have already withdrawn $1,500 in sleeper just since the start. It's probably like a week into December is when I got really hot.
yeah.
That's just on $20 a play, man. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't.
I took out $500. I think like the first week you started doing the protected
Mhm.
on it because it was just hitting like crazy.
Yeah. So, what? Just out of curiosity, what is your like? I know you're probably on quite a few apps, like I am.
Yeah,
If you see me on the VIP, I literally try to attack value for the guys. I don't just hone in on one app. I literally try to go find the best lines. I think you kind of do the same thing when you set plays. It's the smart thing to do.
yeah.
What would you tell these guys? Just out of curiosity, what is your favorite app like overall? What's your favorite app to like gamble on?
Um, if it's like a non-correlated play, I
Hmm.
would say sleeper or chalkboard because they
Hmm.
pay out just way higher than everybody else right now.
Okay.
But it's not even close. And then correlated, it has to be dabble. Like Prize Picks doesn't. Prize Picks and underdogs, they're useless when it comes to correlated. It's so low now.
Yeah. They're all
Uh,
they're all nerfing it, man. I mean, it's so
yeah,
ironic, Amon, that literally last year, right around this time, man, the bowl season is when
yeah,
I made a grip of money. Like this is when I really like knew that I could do this for a living and just give up trucking. But I still, waited until next football season. I wanted to kind of build momentum. I started this newer channel in the off season, so it was kind of slow for me. It's picked up a little traction lately, and I really do just try to like be real with these dudes, and I
yeah,
hope a lot of these guys appreciate that about me, that I'm not this like fraudster. I mean,
yeah,
it's
for
dude, it's
sure.
crazy,
It's,
bro. Prize Picks will literally limit you once you reach a certain threshold. So you got all these fake YouTubers over here like acting like they're putting 500 to win
yeah,
5 grand on a play every single day, and I'm like, dude, that's
it's
not
impossible.
exactly.
Well, I found out the way those guys, some of those guys I found out is they get paid when people click their links. So
Oh yeah,
they make a prize pick play and then people click it and the money they're gambling with is prize picks money. So there's like, you get those guys that are like on the commercials and on Twitter. They're like all the celebrities and stuff. That's not even their own money they're gambling with. So
no, Prize Picks literally loads accounts, dude. They're
yeah,
actually. I mean, I'm thankful because when I found them, they like changed my life. Right, I'm very thankful
yeah,
for. But I'm telling you, like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to like be nice about it, but they're literally like the worst. They are like the worst app for so many reasons, and they also deal with shadiness. Like, I've had
oh
success on other apps, but they've never like I made almost the same amount of money on Better. They didn't limit me like in the exact same time frame. So
yeah, yeah. The
they took away the correlation eventually, but
Yeah, they took it away after the last year's playoffs is when
mhm.
they nuked it because everybody was doing four mans and they nuked it. It used to be a 10x and now it's like I don't even know if it's even an 8 sometimes.
Those five pick correlated for 20x were just insane. Like that was the greatest time ever, and
Yeah.
it'll never be that great again. But like, there's still
Well,
ways to
it
profit.
looks it looks like better is allowing that. Looks like you could do a 5 man. They don't let you do 6 correlated. They let you do a 5, I think.
They were letting me do it on the Ballers Club play. I'm not sure about the rest. I'd have to check,
Oh, okay.
but I will tell you, Better last year, and this was without correlation. I just got extremely hot in July last year on MLB. It was
Mm,
by far my best
gotcha.
MLB month ever, and Better's still really good for that because of the nature of the dynamic play.
Oh, they boost him. They boost all those plays.
Right. So what I'll do for the VIPs a lot of times in the off season like that, I'll literally sit here, I'll do a bunch of research, and once I kind of get going with the MLB, once I kind of become all in with it, uh,
Yeah.
I I just kind of know everything, and then I'll just kind of look at like historical records, track records of like, hey, does this guy have a good good track record against the starting pitcher today, righty versus lefty, stuff like that. And then I'll look for like EV props and I'll throw them all in a better play. And then they do. So I'm from Tennessee and they do peer to peer here. So I'm not allowed to do dynamic like you guys are in Cali. You know how you flex it? I can't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But for you guys, if you can, I mean, 2.5x on a 10x, 2.5x, that return is great for missing one. So like it was literally to the point where I was hitting like 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, and then we'd hit a 5 out of 5. And like even on $100 unit play, I was getting 250 back when I missed one. So
yeah, that's awesome.
And then when you hit a 10xer, it's just July blew up. So I'm looking forward to MLB, man. I had a couple other questions for you. My eyes are so bad these days. I got to have my glasses. Let me put my sunglasses on. I don't want to look like I did in my video.
It's all good.
See a little better. So how long you been sports gambling for? Just out of curiosity.
I would say this is my 3rd year of like really doing it. I would say the first year was pretty much just Prize Picks, so that's all I knew.
Mm-hmm. You seem like a pretty smart guy, texting back and forth with you. Like, you seem like, so you had a pretty good mindset coming in and we got hot and hopefully we can stay hot. Last night was just a disappointment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, when I first started, I was probably doing what everybody else did. Just like, hey, that seems like a good play, and then picking players and no research behind anything,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't winning. Yeah, you get lucky here and there. You hit a 5-man or a 6-man, but you lose like 10,
Yeah.
But, what I realized is, like for anybody else watching this, when Keith gives out those small free plays, those 2-mans or those 3-mans for like those $10 promos, man, those are the ones that build your bankroll so you can throw a $50 or $100 down on a play, man. Those are the ones that build throughout the week. So then when you come to Sunday, you can just throw down, 4 $25 plays. So that's one thing I've learned is you take the little small 2-mans. Don't take the promos and try to make a 6-man out of it because it's rarely going to hit,
That's actually great advice for everyone listening. It's 100% spot on. And I truly believe that if I can turn so the discount props on average hit like 3 out of 4 times. So 75%. And if we can just turn that into a 3x, it lets us be more aggressive on like you said, in this time of year on Sunday. You know what I mean? It literally like funds the entire operation when you can hit these things. I don't really like 2-mans if there's no discount involved, though. A lot of times I try to. That's the beautiful thing too about some of these apps right now, like Dabble. If we can get more than 5.5x on a 3-pick, we're gonna be slamming the shit out of MLB this year, man. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about MLB. NBA can be rough.
Yeah, NBA is the hardest one I think to bet on because you don't even know who's playing, and you don't even know if they give a shit, man. Half the time they're out there, they don't care.
Then you have, I call it the National Blowout Association. So
there's that's the worst.
So I'm really, March, to be honest with everyone, and I don't hide anything. My VIPs know, especially the guys that are with me for life and that have been on for the last year. March was a rough month last year. It was by far the worst I've ever had in my pro sports betting journey. And it was on the back of NBA. It was literally like a lot of good reads. We'd get like 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, 2 out of 3, just missing by, a couple PRAs and every fucking slip. It just like broke my back. It like made me not want to bet on the NBA anymore. But then I realized, hey, I think you might be doing this wrong, Keith. Like closing line value is so powerful in NBA. And what I've learned is that there's simply way more ways that an under can hit than an over in the NBA specifically, based off everything we just said. So I'm going to dabble with that once football really concludes. I'm going to go all in on NBA and UFC. I'm very excited about UFC this year. So.
I'm very excited for UFC. I don't know if they followed your sportsbook plays in December, man, but those UFC plays were cashing.
I had a huge UFC 303 and 300. 300 was special. I gave out a lot of VIP slips, and we hit like a $25 parlay. and it paid out like $1,200. So when you hit those, it just like sets you up. And it was only two things. It was just literally, I think it was 300 that Max Holloway got the knockout with like a couple seconds left.
Yeah, on Gaethje. Yeah,
on Gaethje. Yeah, so I had him with Alex.
Pereira. Yeah, he came with Jamal Hill, right?
Yeah, knockout in the 5th round, because my theory was if he made it that far, he might wear him down and get him in the 4th or 5th. And dude, to win that shit with like 3 seconds or less on the clock, that was insane. It was literally like a special night that night.
For sure.
But we were hitting, dude. Even on UFC, I hit a couple on Underdog and Better. We were just literally doing 5-man flexes. I'd go through the data. I really do like those guys over at We Want Picks. They have some good tools, and I like using their tools. Sometimes I disagree with them on who they think is going to win the fight and all that. But what I like is some of the tools that they have, and I literally go through and I crunch numbers. And significant strikes can be very a subjective line to pay based on who's like watching and stuff, or who's tallying them, I should say. But I don't know. I had a lot of success building out Underdog and Better 5-pick slips. We were hitting I was spending like $100 to win 1,000 on them, and we were hitting them right in that time frame. So, but I haven't really got into UFC as much since.
Yeah, I've noticed that whenever you see the significant strikes, if you compare them to Prize Picks and Underdog, Underdog for some reason counts them higher.
Really?
I've seen it before where I had similar plays on both, and Prize Picks said he had like 67, and then I went to Underdog, they say like 90.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where they're getting which ones they're getting their info from for their stats, but they don't use the same sites.
Yeah, that's weird, because I figured they would probably have to do like some official ticker. I've seen discrepancies with like ESPN and like the UFC actual official thing too.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. There's some, I don't know. There's ways to hit an easy under on some of those, and there's ways to hit overs pretty easily too. Like Sean Strickland's like the gift that just keeps on giving with over significant strikes.
Oh yeah, that's what he does.
He likes to get hit, and then he'll take one to give one or give two.
Yeah, for sure.
So, a couple other things I was going to ask you about, man. Are you on Rebet yet?
I am on Rebet.
And like a US bet, anything like that, you're on Rebet, okay?
I'm on Rebet, yeah.
So
and I also have a Fliff, which I don't really use.
I can't say which one, but I will tell everyone watching, and I'm going to tell you, and you're going to get excited about this. One of my affiliates, I have a little bit of inside info. They are about to launch a competitor to Rebet, and this one, I'm telling you, is going to blow everything else out of the water. I mean, this is a really good time for guys like you that are in Cali or in Texas, some of these sites that are states that you can't use traditional books in. You guys, you're about to get the holy grail, and I think it's going to happen within a couple months.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting, man. I'm pumped about that. So you're into UFC. Obviously, I know you're into football. Are you just kind of like me? You like to bet on a little bit of everything and just look for like, do you use do you like any of these things like Outlier or Odds Jam?
Yeah. I started using the Outlier probably beginning of this football season.
Mm-hmm.
I also use Smart Picks. It just, I don't just go 100% by it, but just to see what the trends are, what the books are saying. You could kind of get some insight on it and kind of formulate your plays from there.
Yeah.
But most of the stuff, you could just, if you watch the games, you can kind of help out too. Instead of just going straight off the numbers.
Yeah, I think that the trends are kind of an interesting thing. Like I like the EV side of things a little more personally.
Yeah.
I do think that I think in NBA specifically, like it can be kind of these things can kind of be trapped sometimes, because I do believe that like matchups are like the most important thing a lot of times in sports. And one thing I will say though, and I learned this really hardcore in MLB last year, is that when guys kind of get into these athlete zones, and baseball is cool because they play every day. So it's like, they're constantly, they get into these like zones where they're just seeing the ball Okay, you can't explain it, but when they get
Yep.
hot, you just ride it until they're not hot anymore. The NBA, you could have a guy that's literally on fire, but then he
Yeah.
gets a bad matchup and he'll shoot 4 for 16, and the trend doesn't mean anything. So I don't
No,
know.
for sure.
Yeah, it's
You
kind of
know,
interesting. So that's cool. And what out of all these sports that we guys like us bet on, what is your favorite one to bet on?
I would say it's NFL. It's
And
NFL and then probably college football.
have you always
Um,
been into college, or have you more recently?
yeah, no, I've since I've been a kid, man, I've been a huge college football fan, playing the video games, nonstop as a kid, even now, still play NCAA football. Um, but yeah, just football really. Gambling wise, I was trying to do a lot of NBA before, man, but like you said, it's very volatile. It's just hard. It's hard to lock in on that one.
Dude,
MLB, I was very new to it last year,
Mhm.
betting on MLB. And I'm a huge baseball fan. I had season tickets to the Giants back when we were winning World Series,
Mm.
those
Those
3 years.
days.
Yeah, I was there. But I'm a big baseball fan, but I'm kind of new to the gambling side on that. So,
I when I was a kid, I lived in Modesto, and I was going through high school, and my parents owned some grocery stores right there in the town I lived in, and we used to get through all the vendors and stuff like the Budweisers and the Tony's Fine Foods, stuff like that. Right when it was back when it first opened, it was AT&T Park,
yep.
the new stadium. We were constantly getting like sweet boxes and stuff through the vendors. So I was always there, and it was like freaking just unreal, man. That stadium when it was first built, it was like the coolest stadium in
Oh
America.
yeah, it
In
was
America.
awesome. It
Mhm.
still is awesome. It's actually still very
Oh,
fun.
it's the same thing, but at the time it was such a cool time because you had Bonds, the Jeff
Oh
Kent Bonds teams, Rich
yeah,
Aurelia, um, and then yeah, into the Posey era, which they were just. I think the 2010 World Series might have been the greatest underdogs like ever. I mean, they
yeah,
defied everything. They really just
yeah.
defied.
It didn't make any sense, but they had the pitching staff, so that's all that matters.
That's true. The pitchers were just dirty. And then even that last one, man, when everyone was writing them off, when
Oh,
Barry Zito had to go to, I think it was St.
St.
Louis,
Louis, yeah,
and
game 4.
they had all those righties, and they're like, oh, Zito's gonna get rocked, and I was telling my buddies in Modesto, I was like, dude, big game Barry's about to show up today, and then he fucking just ate.
Yeah,
So
and then
baseball,
Bumgarner carried us on the last one too.
dude, that guy is like, dude, I never seen domination like that. They knew they couldn't hit him too. It was just crazy, but
Yeah,
I'm excited about MLB, bro. In fact, if I can stay consistent with the picks and the money keeps rolling in, if I can keep making what I'm making doing gambling, then I'm gonna probably hit the road when it warms up a little bit, maybe in like late May or middle May. I'm gonna try to start hitting these ballparks, and I'll definitely make a trip in my RV, my pickup truck hauling the trailer,
yeah.
to back to Cali. So if I head up that way, I'll definitely hit you up. I got a bunch of all my family still lives in California, so
No, nice. Yeah,
yeah, I was born and raised there. So
yeah, for
and
sure. I'm going down to Modesto this weekend too. So
are you
yeah, I'm gonna go see my cousin lives out there. So
okay? So yeah, when you if you go to the Pellendale exit,
okay,
and then you just turn, go make a left right there at that light. It's Pellendale Avenue. Just go down about, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile. There's a big grocery store on the right. That's my parents' grocery store, and they literally used to win the award for best sub sandwich and by the Modesto Bee all the time until they said it had to be like an actual sandwich shop. It couldn't be a deli as part of a grocery. But
that
yeah,
sucks.
really good subs if you want to
Yeah, I'll
check it
try
out.
to check it out. All right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if there's anything else you want to let the audience know, I'm glad I could help you make some money. I don't know.
Um, I would say just be smart with your bets. I know when you lose, people want to chase. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes it just ain't your day, man, and just shut it down, start all over, and there's always a new week. Also, don't worry about if you miss a bet, and don't worry about tailing every play, um, because there's always gonna be a new play. So, like I missed out on I think a couple today on better because by the time I looked onto the lines have already get changed or they
Mm.
removed them, and so So it's okay. It's all right. Tomorrow there'll be more plays. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a big
Great.
deal.
That's great advice. And I think you know too, like with the VIPs, since you've been on there now, I try to keep it pretty structured for you guys. And I try to give instructions because I know there's new people signing up every day where it's like, that's like the last thing I want somebody to do is like watch me on YouTube, watch me get hyped up about something, and then like go over bet. It's like stick to that system, like you mentioned, just be consistent, and I try to give, very simple instructions talking about that. Like I do preach responsibility. I do preach just stay consistent because until you're ready to do it for a living, which some guys will get there, some guys won't because it is hard. It's like a grind. You have to kind of stay on top of it. And, but I will tell you this, dude, I'm excited too about trying to get a little bit more into the books this year too. 2025, I'm going to be really kind of digging deep and trying to find these maybe some value spots, but more specifically, like using my knowledge of like, now it would not have worked last night, but I'll give you an example. Like a lot of times you'll have like a team that played on Monday Night Football, right? They're a good team and they travel west and then they have to come all the way back home, but then they get like a lame duck matchup against like a team that they should face roll. But a lot of times that is not what ends up happening without that one day rest. That kind of shit, like we're gonna like look for shit like that in the NBA. A lot of back-to-back scenarios.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I'm really digging these alt spreads. Like as long as like the payouts like legit. I don't know how much they let you guys do that on sites like Rebet, but do they let you mess with alt lines on there?
Yeah. So I can change over unders and I can change the spreads. But I can't combine them both on one play. So I can't say
you have to play them straight.
Yeah. Or like a different like parlay combined with it. But yeah, I can't say like Lakers over 225 and then also by -6. I can't do that.
Yeah, it's honestly parlays can be tough, man. I probably personally went a little too heavy on them during this college football bowl season. The SEC just kicked my ass. It's pretty much that self-explanatory. I think their dominance is over. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Well, now everybody can pay players. So,
who do you like this week?
I like Ohio State. I like Penn State.
I do like Penn State, but I'll tell you, I mean, how could you not like Ohio State after what they've been doing?
Yeah.
But I'm starting to kind of think, man, that like my gut is kind of like there's something in me that's telling me like this is a trap. I just feel like it's like something about it. It just feels like it's a freaking trap. I think they'll win the game, but
you might be able to just do an alt spread on it,
I just don't know if I trust Texas either. I've been telling one of my buddies like all year long, I was like, I don't trust Texas, and then they just put me through fucking hell with that Arizona State game. Like that, it should not have been that sweaty.
Yeah, and then the Georgia game, that was terrible too.
See, I don't know. See, the thing is like I think the reason ASU had success against Texas is because they were kind of built to. Like, I don't think Ohio State can like bully a run game like that and just hog time of possession. I don't think they're built to do that like ASU is. I don't see Ohio State's like backup offensive line like pushing Texas's front line or defensive line around. So it's really going to come down to the execution of Howard. And if you've seen what he's done against Tennessee and of course Oregon last week, I mean the guy is just Jeremiah looks unstoppable. But even some of these passes, dude, it's like he looks so lasered in, and then even the ones he's missing on, they're still finding ways to make incredible catches. So do those kind of balance out a little bit? My gut is trying to tell me that like take the points with Texas, but I also see the whole country's on Ohio State right now.
That's true.
So
that's true. But it's like, man, they look so good. They look so good.
And I've been saying it for damn near 2 months. I was like, dude, this team has like NFL caliber wide receivers. Their offensive line, I think, caused them a lot of problems. So, but I think they found like the right combination finally, and they're clicking.
Yeah. Got 2 stud running backs too with Henderson and Jefferson.
It's like their head coach, man. It took them getting their
Michigan, huh?
It took
they got spanked.
The Michigan game at home to like people just like turning on them and like all of a sudden him and Chip Kelly just decided they're going to like be aggressive, like vertically. And I'm like, dude, why weren't you doing this all year? You could have set records this year.
You know,
With these boys.
it could be kind of like last year the Chiefs, they lost to the Raiders on Christmas, and then from that point forward they just started saying screw that, and they just beat everybody's ass into the Super Bowl. So could be the same silver type of thing. It was a wake up call, you know.
So yeah, I'll ask you one last question. I'll let you go. I do appreciate you taking the time to do this with me, brother, and I'm happy happy you're on the VIP. If you had to pick one team to place a future bet on right now, tell the audience in the NFL who would it be to win the Super Bowl.
I would say Chiefs.
Okay, so we're lockstep with that.
There's never been a three-peat ever. We've seen the way some of the calls have gone this year for the Chiefs.
Every game,
and I just don't see anybody going into Arrowhead and beating them. I just don't.
Maybe Joe Burrow, but guess what? He ain't there.
And now they're talking about Rashee Rice might come back, so they might have all their receivers back. That's like wow. And they are Hollywood Brown just came back. They already have Hopkins. Worthy has been crazy the last month. If you've been paying attention, he's been leading the team in yards and catches and touchdowns. So and then now they got Pacheco back. It's like I just don't see it.
Their offensive line. We know they're going to get away with shit. They have two great running backs. They got veterans at Hopkins and Kelsey. Worthy. Imagine if they still had Rashee Rice. This team would be insane.
Well, they're saying he might come back by the AFC Championship game.
Well, I just don't know if they even need him the way they're clicking.
Yeah.
It's really just the experience. And then, like we saw last year, like everyone doubted them. They had to do it on the road. Like you said, now they're at home throughout the AFC.
They're better than last year. I feel
the switch is about to be flipped. And let's be real, too. Like, I don't want to like say like it's a big conspiracy or something, but don't you think that the NFL would love to have Mahomes be the first three-peater?
Oh, for sure.
And you got the Taylor Swift narrative, and she's the good luck charm. And dude, I mean, are you a father? Do you have children?
I do. I have two kids.
That's right.
They're young though. They're young.
Park, I remember now. Yeah. So like the way I'm viewing it, I don't know how aggressive I'm going to be with this. My dollar size here, but I don't have kids. But I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I view them like my own children. Like I love them dearly. And I'm thinking in my head, like, hey, fast forward like 5-6 years when these kids are like teenagers and they're starting to get into football, and they're going to be, some of them might be Chiefs fans even, who knows, but they're going to be asking me about the three-peat. And I think it's even going to be a four-peat. I'm giving you a crazy bold prediction right now. I think it's a four-peat. I think they win this year, and I think they're going to win next year. Solidify the greatest of all time, Mahomes, and
Andy Reid retires. Probably.
Yeah, we'll see, maybe. But
talking about it,
I just don't want to be that guy that like saw the writing on the wall, saw the fact that they obviously are getting help. I mean, that Denver game, like that whole left side of the offensive line, say what you will, but it looked like they just kind of fell backwards, man. I'm not trying to get too conspiratorial here, but that left side of that O-line, I don't know if the timing of the snap was off, but like that blocked field goal, that was the only way the Chiefs won, right? That was a little like, what the hell just happened here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then the lack, I mean, we've seen them in the Super Bowl. Trust me, I'm a Niners fan, dude.
Oh, yeah. They give away holding. They don't call holding penalties on the Chiefs.
Dude, Bosa gets held like every third play, and they refuse to throw a flag. It's truly insane. And then we have to hear about how great Mahomes is because, runs around and like two guys are holding, but I do like Mahomes. I think he is really good. I'm not taking anything away from him. I think he makes plays that not a lot of guys can make ever in this league we've seen. But he also gets a lot of help. And then when you culminate all those things, how could you not want to bet a future bet? I was looking at the odds the other day, and I was still seeing plus 400 in some spots.
Yeah, they are. They're still plus 400. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was thinking, like, I almost did it last week. And I was thinking, if I just combo the Texas money line to beat ASU with the Chiefs, it'd pay like plus 550 or something. And if I just like put 10 grand down on that, I feel like it's just a lock.
Yeah.
And can you imagine the sweat I would have had to fucking just go through last week?
For Texas.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
That would have been, but that also would have been really cool. And I kind of wish I would have done it, because it would have been part of this vlog journey that I could have built this. Hey, this is why I put 10 grand on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think
that'd be fun. It would be fun, you know, if the Lions make it on the other side.
They definitely look like they got a little help last night too, man. They were letting those DBs be, and I don't mind it. You know, it's playoff football. I'd rather see no flags, but
Yep.
they definitely looked like they were getting some help last night. And I will admit, like, I was shocked that the Vikings didn't just come in there with the day extra rest and kind of be a little more physical. They kept trying to do these like downfield, long developing routes where it's like, dude, the Lions are literally like sending 5 or 6 every time. Like, you got to get the ball out of this dude's hands. He was like, his completion percentage was like 45%. I don't think I ever expected that against the Lions.
Yeah, and Jefferson, I think, for like 18 yards or something. It was nuts.
Hawkins
Against Robertson. Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a long night for us when he missed Hawkinson high in the first quarter.
Yeah, on the third down.
I just knew it right there. I said, dude,
that was a 30-yard catch right there.
Yeah, and he missed him on the drive right before that too on the sideline. So,
yep.
Well, that's cool, brother. I'll let you go. I do appreciate you hopping on.
For sure, man. No problem. Anytime, man.
We'll keep talking.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace,
All
buddy.
right, guys.